On my wedding day, I caught my fiancé cheating, so I walked back down the aisle and married his brother instead. Sounds insane, right? But when your whole life turns upside down in a single moment, you either crumble or you rewrite the ending yourself. And I decided to rewrite mine with a twist no one saw coming. My name's Samantha Lee. I'm 28, and I'm a nurse in Savannah, Georgia. I met Daniel Parker, 30, an architect, at a charity 5K run. He was charming, sweet, and made me laugh like no one else. We dated for 3 years before he proposed during a beach sunset. Everything about our relationship felt like a dream: romantic dinners, weekend getaways, him showing up at my hospital with coffee during long shifts. His family welcomed me instantly, especially his younger brother, Michael, 27. Michael was quieter, more reserved, but always kind. He would tease Daniel about how lucky he was to have me. When Daniel and I got engaged, Michael was even named his best man. I was over the moon planning the wedding, white roses, candlelit reception, live jazz band. I pictured us dancing the night away as husband and wife. Everything was perfect until it wasn't. 2 months before the wedding, Daniel started acting off. He became obsessed with work deadlines, stayed late at the office, and kept his phone locked at all times. If I walked into a room, he'd flip it face down. I'd ask if he was stressed, but he'd brush it off. Just busy, babe. Then there was his sudden interest in fitness. Don't get me wrong, Daniel was always active, but now he was spending 2 hours at the gym almost every night, even on weekends. I noticed him texting someone constantly. When I asked who, he said it was a client. I told myself not to be paranoid. We were getting married. We loved each other. I had no reason to doubt him, or so I thought. Our wedding day arrived a warm spring afternoon. I was in my dressing room at the venue, veil pinned perfectly, bouquet in hand, heart pounding with excitement. But then I realized I had left my grandmother's bracelet, a family heirloom, in Daniel's dressing room earlier that morning. I decided to quietly slip in to retrieve it before the ceremony. I opened the door, and there he was, Daniel, half-dressed, kissing one of my bridesmaids, Kara. The bracelet slipped from my hand and clattered to the floor. They froze. Daniel stammered, "Samantha, it's not what it looks like." I cut him off. "Save it. You've already ruined everything." In that moment, my heartbreak turned into pure, ice-cold clarity. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I simply walked out, straight into the hallway where I saw Michael. I told him exactly what happened. He looked shocked and furious. He asked me, "What do you want to do?" Half joking, I said, "Marry someone who actually deserves me." Michael paused and said, "Then marry me." At first I laughed, but then I realized he was dead serious. He told me he'd always respected and admired me, and that he wouldn't let his brother humiliate me like this. So I took a deep breath and said, "All right, let's do it." 15 minutes later, the guests watched in stunned silence as I walked down the aisle, not toward Daniel, but toward Michael. The officiant was confused, but Michael leaned in and whispered, "Trust me." We said, "I do," while Daniel stood frozen, watching the whole thing unfold. The room buzzed with whispers. Kara slipped out the back in embarrassment. Michael and I didn't rush into anything romantic after that. We took time, months, to see if we actually worked together outside of the chaos. Turns out we did. 2 years later, we had a small, private wedding. No drama, no lies, no cheating. Just love. As for Daniel, word got around about what happened. His reputation took a hit, and Kara moved on within weeks. Subscribe to Silk Mirror for more stories where betrayal meets poetic justice. Moral: sometimes life, as cruel as betrayals, give you the clearest view of who truly deserves a place in your heart. And when that moment comes, don't be afraid to choose yourself and your happiness over anyone's expectations.